on Swing Street, 52nd and Broadway, and we'll linger all night long at Roseland, where the big band wails and the brass sure can play. Diddly-doo-doo, what we'll do is dance the night away.
And that is the voice of our friend who's been with us several times before. Always great to have her with us. And that is, of course, the title tune from her brand new CD called Swing Street. And who else but our friend Deana Martin we have with us tonight to chat about the new CD and what she has coming up the rest of this year in her shows. And, of course, next year is going to be a huge year, the 100th anniversary of her dad, Dean Martin. And Deana Martin joining us from Branson, Missouri tonight. Deana, great to talk with you again. How you been?
Oh, I've been great, Doug. It's so nice to talk to you. I can just see you, all 6'10" of you, smiling.
Not quite that tall, but 6'5", that's good enough.
You're that tall to me.
Yeah, last time we saw each other was February when you were down our area up at Ruth Eckerd Hall. That was a fun afternoon.
Yes, wasn't that a fun afternoon? But I tell you, you just put a smile on my face when I hear Swing Street, and the whole thing is, when it says the crowd comes alive and the brass sure can play, it's so true, because there we were at Capitol Records, Capitol Studios, with all those fabulous musicians, and Patrick Williams was conducting, and it was just an exciting time. And Swing Street did come alive right there.
I watched a lot of what you did at the recording session. John had the live stream going on Facebook. That was a lot of fun to watch you record some of the numbers.
Wasn't that fun? And for me to be able to be there, thinking about when I was, a very little girl, when I saw my dad record his first #1 hit in Studio A, it was just awesome for me to be there with those great musicians. And that was one of Patrick's songs. Patrick and Gail Cantor wrote that song, 52nd and Broadway. And Gail came to the recording, too, so it was quite something.
Yeah, I'd never seen the inside of the studio. I've seen a couple of still shots, but it was nice to have a video. You gave a little tour of Capitol, the great pictures going down that hallway. Of course, your dad, Frank, and everybody that recorded there. Full of memories.
We walked in. I'm sorry?
Full of memories, that place.
Oh, yes, full of memories. And then, not to mention the people who are there now, walking in and out, of different, Studio B or Studio A or Studio C. It was an unbelievable experience for me.
And you do the recordings predominantly live. I mean, I know you do some stuff with pickups later, but you had the band in there with you for most of it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. And they're so cute, and they're so good. And in fact, Patrick said, when I have a sizzle reel, because we did a whole video of the whole recording, and Patrick said, for me, it's such an honor, he said, and it's an easy job for me to conduct these people, because these musicians are so amazing. They talk with themselves in between, figuring out what the notes are. Is this how are you going to play that? He says, and then all I do is I count it off, and they play, and it's perfect.
Yeah, those guys that are studio musicians, I mean, that's a talent, I guess, almost of itself, isn't it? It's almost a different type of talent than just playing on stage, isn't it?
It is, because you have to be able to you get that music, and you don't have a lot of time. You can't keep doing it over and over again. You don't have rehearsals. You sit there, you read that music, and you play it, and they are the best. It's remarkable. Because when I would hear them, because I would be standing there, and they would start playing, and I would start singing, and it was, oh my God, this is okay. This is going to be good. This will be fun.
Yeah, I guess a session is what, 3 hours?
Yes, and we did 4. This whole album was done in 4 sessions. We did 2 a day.
Right.
And it was pretty amazing. So when you have this amount of work to do, we did 15 songs, and so that was, right on. But when you have the great talent, you have all the right people. We had our A-team. We had Al Schmidt was the engineer, and I think he has 22 Grammys. Between Patrick and Al Schmidt and Chris Walden, who arranged and conducted 4 of the songs, and he's amazing. But this whole group of people, and having John, handsome husband John, being the producer.
That's right.
We just had the perfect mix of people, and it just came out great.
Yeah, I know you've been talking the last couple of years. You asked people to suggest songs at your show. So I guess some of these songs were probably suggestions, right, from folks sending you ideas.
Yes, they were, and so I put that out on Facebook, and I got a lot of response, and it was so funny for me because I had all of these songs. I had about 200 songs, but you know me, I mean, and singers just probably in general, they hear a song and they go, "Oh, I want to do that. I've got to sing that." So it goes on your wish list.
Sure.
And then people are sending you songs, maybe that they wrote and they want you to do those. So a lot of those, good songs, they come on your wish list. And I've written now a couple songs, and John wrote one, "Shall We Dance?" No, "May I Have This Dance?" And so we took all of these songs, all of the ones that people had sent in that they would like me to sing, and we went to see Patrick Williams at his office, and we were surrounded by all of his gold albums, platinum albums, Emmy Awards, Academy Award, whatever it is. We're sitting there going through the songs, and we finally got it narrowed down to 15 songs, which was great. And then John says, "So, Patrick, I understand you write fabulous songs. Do you have anything that, might be just right for Deana?" And he said, "As a matter of fact, I do." So this is after going through 200 songs. He pulled out, "I've Been Around," I know What You Are," 52nd and Broadway, "Good Things Grow." And I said, "Oh, my God, I loved all of these songs." And John loved them, and we said, "Okay." And hearing Ella sing, I said, "All right, well, this is it. Let's take off 5 of my songs, and we'll put 5 of his songs." And it was great. So I thought, oh, my gosh, I've got to learn all these new songs. And then I sat there, and I said, "So, Patrick, what would you think about," and I was a little embarrassed because I thought, am I going to ask Patrick Williams to write an arrangement for Spooky? Because I'm thinking, I don't know, is it right? So I sang a little bit of Spooky to him, and I said, I've always loved that song. He said, wait a minute, I see it. It's Peggy Lee meets Fever." And I said, "What?" He said, "Just trust me." He sent me the arrangement, a couple days later, and I said, "It's perfect." So I just loved it.
Yeah, I like the mix of songs, like you mentioned, the newer ones that are on there, and then you have the classics, of course, like "Georgia on My Mind" and "That's Life."
Yeah.
You've done that in your show for a long time, and
yes.
You got a Billy Joel song there, "New York State of Mind," so you got a good mix.
I have a good mix, and also it's a great story about the Waters. The singing group, the backup singers, the Waters. They sing backup on "That's Life," and they are unbelievable. If you've ever, they have, I don't know, maybe they've been on 200. They've done 200 maybe Grammy songs because they're on everything because they are absolutely fantastic. And they were recording at Capitol Studios the same day I was recording. And what we had done when I sang the song with the band was singing the shouts, like I do in my show,
right.
Like Rick Creevy and all my guys. When it gets to "That's Life," they sing "That's Life," right, as my backup. So when we were doing it at Capitol, and all the musicians started singing "That's Life," so when we got into mixing the song, we said, "Gee, the band is great, but they don't sound real good singing 'That's Life.'" So Steve Genowick said, "Well, what do you want to do?" And John said, "Well, we've got to cut them out. We have to cut them out." And Steve said, "Well, you want to cut out all the background vocals?" He said, "No, we have to get good background vocals for it." So Steve said, "Well, you won't believe it, but I think the Waters are next door recording." Now, they had just left. They were in their cars. They had left. Steve called them. They turned around and came back. They came into Studio B. They listened to the song, and they went in and recorded all the background for it. So, and they are unbelievable. So when you hear the Waters, now you would know them. They were in a movie called I think 20 Feet from Stardom.
Okay, sure.
And it's about the backup singers.
Oh, I did see that. I saw that. Yeah, right.
Yeah, so it's those are the Waters,
Oh,
and
great.
Lauren, Luther, Julia, and Maxine, and they came in totally professional, fabulous, and they put down those vocals, and it's spectacular.
Talking with Deana Martin. The new CD is called Swing Street, and of course, That's Life is also a tribute to your Uncle Frank as well. Of course, he had a big hit with that one. He always did that in his shows, right?
That is right, and I always have to tip my hat to him, to Uncle Frank, and then also and I do Strangers in the Night with that fantastic Charlie Colello arrangement.
Right.
It's that up-tempo swing, a very swinging Strangers in the Night.
And you do one song on there. I always enjoy it in your live shows. Toward the end of your show, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. I'm not Italian. Bellissima? Am I pronouncing that right?
Bellissima. Yes.
Bellissima.
Bellissima. That's good.
I love that.
But you know what?
You and Rick do a good
love
job
it.
on that. Yeah.
Isn't that fun? And the thing is, now we let the orchestra keep in their backup vocals on that one.
That's what they usually do in your live show, so that you left that
Yeah,
in. Yeah,
because and you know what? They sounded so funny. You know, it's just it's so cute, and just to hear them, it tickles me every time I hear that song. So when they're going Bellissima, oh gosh, it's just great.
Swing Street, I should say, just came out a couple of weeks ago. Available iTunes and Amazon, and you can go to Deana Martin's website. We'll mention it again later, but DeanaMartin.com. You can get it there as well. So hot off the presses, as they say.
Hot off the presses, and if they go to DeanaMartin.com, I will personalize it for them. You know, I mean, they can get it on Amazon and all of those, places. But if they wanted to get it, just like I did yesterday to Doug.
You got a great photo on. I mean, you always have great photos on your CDs, but this one I watched you do some live Facebook broadcasting when you did the original shot up in Georgia, right?
In Savannah, Georgia, and it was it was a fun day. And the photographer, who's a dear friend, Hayden Banks, he's a fabulous photographer. First of all, we got up, John. We flew to Savannah because we wanted to have we wanted maybe cobblestone and the Vespa. We had this whole idea because we had Bellissima, and so we wanted to kind of do, and then we have I've Been Around. So we wanted to have a Vespa, kind of a fabulous looking cover. And John and Hayden went out for 2 hours looking at locations. They went out on a location scouting mission. They came back and they said, well, we found a few fabulous locations. So I got in the car all dressed, ready, and we went around, and they couldn't find a lot of the places that they had seen. So we stopped for lunch at the Our Daily Bread Cafe to have something to eat, and we go in, and it was nice and cool. It was air-conditioned because it was so hot in Savannah that day. I mean, I thought, well, I'm going to melt if we're out here doing the photo shoot. So we're in there, and we're having lunch, and I look up, and I see this beautiful brick wall. I said, you know what? This could be it. And maybe we could do the shoot here and not have to go outside. So John went over and talked to the owner and said, what time do you close today? And they said, well, we close at 4:30 today. And John said, well, can we bring our Vespas in here and do the shoot? And she said, sure. So we went outside and we ate, and then we went outside and we did the video coming in, and they were fantastic. So I was able to do all those beautiful shots inside in the air conditioning.
Yeah, that's a Vespa motorcycle, right?
Yeah, we have the one on the cover, and on the back is I think it's called a Lambrado, and it's the 1964 edition.
Oh, that's an older. I thought that was a brand new one. Okay, that's an older.
No, but it looks brand new, doesn't it? I mean, they really kept it up. But in the CD, when you take out the CD inside, the picture that's under the CD is me on in the 2016 Vespa. So it's a brand new one.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you take out that CD, you'll see that Vespa, and it was just cute. But it was a fun shoot, and to do the video, walking in and all of that, it's fun, and it keeps people interested, and it keeps me out there, and it was just a lot of fun.
Yeah. I mean, I know you were talking when we talked last time, and January. You're already working on this album at that time, so it takes a while to put these together. It doesn't just happen quickly. So it's a lot of work.
No, it's a lot of work, and and John and oh my gosh, everybody who worked on it was just spectacular. But it's a lot of hard work. But we have this incredible finished product because, as I say, we got all the top people, and we're at Capitol Studios, and every little detail is so important. And then we mastered it there at Capitol, and what was funny, we had finished our all the recording, and we had Al Schmidt, of course, as our engineer and putting it together, and he the one that he did right after us was the Rolling Stones.
Oh,
and
really?
so he was doing the Deana Martin album, and then he finished that, and then we went in to master with Ron McMaster at Capitol, and the Rolling Stones were doing theirs, and then they went in to do their mastering at Capitol, of course, with Ron McMaster, who is the master at mastering, and he's the one who first introduced us to doing vinyl.
Right.
And we are going to put it on. We are going to put it on vinyl, and because I have, well, let me see, Volare is on vinyl, Destination Moon, and White Christmas, and now we're going to put this one on vinyl also.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Better to go in before the Rolling Stones go in than after. That studio will be pretty hazy.
It was...
Unless you're into that kind of thing, but I don't think you are. So.
No, well, you know what?
The studio will be very smoky, filled with all sorts of stuff, I would imagine.
Oh, gosh, that would make me nuts. I can't stand any kind of smoke. I'm just a little too healthy for all of that.
Aren't you amazed, though, a little bit? The Rolling Stones, you figure they were the real bad boys of rock and roll. The Beatles seemed a little more, middle of the road, and the Rolling Stones are still going for all all the stuff they did.
Well, what was great when I was, and I'm trying to, I don't know, maybe it was 60, it might have been before 64, because my dad was hosting the Hollywood Palace. There was a TV show, the Hollywood Palace.
Yeah.
So Dad was hosting it this one time, and in fact, a funny bit of trivia, Raquel Welch was the card girl.
Right.
She would come out, and hold the cards, and it was, for the commercials. So Dad called called my sisters and myself, and he said, I don't know what it is, but I think you girls would love to come over to see me record this show at the Hollywood Palace, because he said, there are some guys who, they're on some kind of rock and roll thing, and I think you'd probably like them. It looks like they just got off the boat. So I said, well, who are they? He said, I don't know, the Rolling Stones. So we went, oh my gosh, it's the Rolling Stones. So we got in the car and we went to the Hollywood Palace, and we sat there and we watched them when Mick Jagger got up and sang Respect, and my dad's looking, and he's going, oh my, he said, well, now you all come back now, when it was a commercial. He says, because you don't want to leave me here with them Rolling Stones. And I think it was a big, it was hysterical. I don't think they liked it at that time, but boy, did we, my sisters, oh my God, we sat there and we just watched the Rolling Stones, and we met them all, and it was exciting.
That episode is on YouTube, so I saw that, the whole thing up there, and your dad is just great the way he kind of gives them the look,
Oh, yeah. It was so good. I didn't know it was up there. I've got to take a look
found
at
it,
that.
I'm not sure it still is, but about a year ago I saw it on there, and they put a whole bunch of Hollywood Palaces up there, so that was on there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I'm going to track that down, because that was so funny.
Yeah.
When my dad said, I don't know who they are, he says, but I'm sure you girls are going to love it, so why don't you come down?
Well, I guess that was kind of the forerunner of your dad getting the variety show, right? That was before he had the weekend show. He hosted that a couple times. So,
so that was, gosh, and that went on for years and years and years.
I wish I remember, a little before I remember watching TV, but that was kind of like the Ed Sullivan Show on the West Coast.
Yes, it was. And the best part of that was that and so it was such a funny story when he made the deal to do that, because he really didn't want to do TV at that time. It seemed that you were either a movie star or a TV star, a television star.
He didn't do both,
No, and so, but they made him an offer. He said they couldn't refuse, and he said, well, I don't want to rehearse. He said, and I will come in on Sunday afternoon to tape the show after I play golf. So he never rehearsed it. He was brilliant. Everybody else had to come down and work for a week on their part. All the musicians, all the singers, all the dancers. Everybody had to go, but Dad didn't. He had a stand-in, Lee Hale.
Yeah, and it worked.
Yeah.
It worked.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't think any other performer would have made that work. I don't think anybody.
I don't think so. But Dad was so loved, and he made it so.
Yeah.
He loved the spontaneity of not knowing what was coming next, and he loved them to keep
he had the
it.
confidence to know he could come up with something on the spot.
Exactly.
I think he had to have that to make it work.
He had to have that, and where people would, other TV shows that were being taped at the same time, in that time of life, when they would make a mistake, they'd cut and they'd redo it.
Yeah.
Dad said, "No, just keep it in."
Now, was that done? That was done at the Burbank, where like Johnny Carson.
At,
that's
NBC.
studio, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Where the Tonight Show, everybody was there.
Have you been watching any of those? I don't know if you have Antenna TV out by you. They're running the Johnny Carson episodes, 11 o'clock, at least here on the East Coast.
Oh, no, I didn't
full
know.
episodes. I don't know, but it's Antenna. It's like one of those side channels on cable.
Well, we'll have to look.
You have to check
We're
if you have it
always
by
on
you,
the.
yeah. They had
we're
the
kind of
one
always
with your
on the
dad
road.
on not too long ago. It was great. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, was that the one with Bob Hope and
Bob Hope,
George
right.
Goebel?
Not the one from where he dips the cigarette in his drink, but a different one. Bob Hope and Dean were on that one too. It was a little bit after that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was great. And
Well,
a lot of that
I'll
was on
take a
YouTube.
look.
So, yeah. Well, speaking of your dad, I know we want to talk for a few minutes about next year, of course, the huge year, 100th anniversary of your dad's birth. And I know you had a lot of projects going on. What's the latest?
Yes, we do. And in fact, so we are putting together a documentary with the producers are and the director. They are fantastic. And they've already interviewed, Bob Newhart. Angie is this week. Angie Dickinson, Florence Henderson, Henry Silva. Oh, who did All in the Family? Who's Norman Lear?
Oh, Norman Lear. He's still going strong.
Oh, yeah. But they are interviewing everybody, and it's going to be a spectacular documentary.
And that'll be for television, cable TV, or?
It will be for television. Yes.
Okay.
These the people who are doing it, they're called Creative Chaos, and they are wonderful. They have done many documentaries. They're award-winning. These guys, and they did one, and you should look at it. It was great. It was called the Casting Call.
Okay.
And it's Casting Call, and everybody is in it. But they do such spectacular work, so we're very excited about that. And so we will be doing lots of Dean Martin shows, or 100th, the centennials, just like I did for Uncle Frank Sinatra last year.
Right.
And so we're putting all of that together right now.
You're gonna do a lot more touring next year, I would think, right?
I'm sorry?
Yeah, more live shows next year? On
Yes.
Yeah.
So that'll be all in 2017.
Great.
My father was born June 7th, 1917, so we're looking forward to all of that coming out in 2017.
Yeah, that'll be great. And check out DeanaMartin.com. She puts her schedule up there as well for all her shows. And now I read something about a Dean Martin hologram. Is there anything in the works you can talk about, or what's going on with that?
Yes, well, I don't know all about it yet. They're kind of keeping it. I know it's going to be spectacular.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard the latest on it yet. All these things take so long, but it will be. I love the holograms.
Have you seen it? Have you seen what it looks like? Is it look
lifelike? I haven't seen Dad's. I've seen Elvis, and I've seen.
I've never seen one.
Frank Sinatra.
Is it pretty impressive what they do?
It really is.
Yeah. Okay.
It is impressive, and it's spooky even.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that will be very exciting, and I'm looking forward to that too.
I guess they take that. I don't give any secrets if you have any, but I would imagine they take that from television performances. I would think.
Yes.
Footage, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and it's all very technical, and there's incredible machines now, and you have to, and it's my understanding you have to have the right theater.
Right. The lighting has to be right and all that.
All of that, and it's So I still don't know all of it yet. We've just been a little bit crazy this year getting
Sure.
all of this stuff together.
Now, will that be
Not
part of
stuff.
your show in any way, or is that going to be a separate?
I don't know. There will be one separate, and I haven't gotten to that
Right.
part yet because I'm still working on all of this. So
Sure,
I don't
sure.
know. That will be in the future. Of course, I've been approached, to do all of that, but
Right.
I've got too many things that I'm doing right now.
Yeah. No, your plate has been full for a while.
Yes, it has. Thank God.
Now,
Touch wood. Thank God.
now, is that documentary? I know you said Jerry Lewis was doing something. Is that a separate thing that he's working on with you, or is that part of the
Jerry,
documentary?
we're going to interview Jerry. Jerry just had a movie come out.
I heard about it. It's not down here yet, so I haven't had a chance to see it.
It's not there yet.
Yeah.
And he is amazing. He's absolutely amazing. He's 90 years
90,
old.
yeah. I saw an interview with him. He looked pretty good.
Yeah. No,
considering what he's been through
good.
health-wise, but he looked pretty good.
Yeah, I know. Well, he's like the Energizer Bunny. He just keeps going, and he's a genius. I mean, he really and truly is. And I didn't know until a couple of years ago, after we did the duet together. I didn't even know before that he is the one who invented the video assist camera.
Right.
I didn't know that, and I
Yeah,
thought,
I'd read something that he had something to do with it. I didn't realize he was the guy that came up with it.
he was the one.
Yeah.
Because when he's, directing and starring in and writing and everything, he needed to see the dailies quickly to see how it looked. So he came up with that. And he's brilliant.
I hope he got a royalty on that.
I hope so. Oh, I'm sure. You know what? He knows his business.
Yeah.
He
Everybody
knows what
does
he's
that
doing.
now. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But I know you said you were doing something with him on the documentary. I wasn't sure if that was the same one with the other group or a separate one. But
Well, no, that will be with our group.
with your group, yeah.
And
Great. Well,
it's just
you'll need a lot of memory on your computer to do Jerry. I'm sure he's got a lot of stories.
he's got so many stories, and but you know what the sweetest thing is? When he looks at me, he just puts his hands on either side of my face and stares at me and looks me in the eye, and he says, I see my partner.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so sweet. Tears will come to his eyes. So.
Well, of all the people in your family, I guess you have the closest resemblance to your dad, face-wise. Right?
I think so. Yeah, I think I do.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that growing up until, then later, and I'm looking at the pictures, from my wedding or pictures when I'm next to him, when I was younger, I'm going, my gosh, I do look exactly like him.
Yeah.
I'm just smaller.
And I don't want to bring you down, but I did want to send our respects to. I know you had a rough couple of months in the summer.
Oh.
So we're very sorry to hear
my
about
God,
your brother.
it was.
But
yes, my brother
and your
and
mom
my
as
mother.
well. Your mom as well.
Yeah, so it was quite something. But I have to say, for my mom, she knew she had planned her service, a year ago, because she didn't want anyone else to have to worry about it.
Right.
So even if she wasn't sick or anything, she planned it all because she was really she was a planner. She was amazing. And so what she wanted, and this is so mother, this is so my little genie when I think about Dad. She wanted the funny priest, and she wanted valet parking. She said because she wanted everybody to laugh, and she didn't want them to be inconvenienced to try and find a parking space. So she's out there now. She's buried near where Dad is in
she lived out in
Los
California
Angeles.
still, right? Beverly Hills area. Is that where she
Yes.
lived? Yeah.
It's in Westwood.
Westwood. Yeah.
And so that they're there. But it was such a beautiful ceremony with the funny priest who knew her, so he could tell stories about her, and it was funny, and it was just all family,
Yeah.
and it was beautiful, and it would have been just the way she wanted it.
Yeah. Well, God bless
And
her.
so we were, so it was a celebration of a life well lived, and that was great. And then, I'm sorry to say, then we ended up flying up to Salt Lake City for Ricky's service, and
he lived in Utah then. I didn't know he lived in Utah.
Yeah, he lived in Park City.
Yeah.
In Park City, Utah, so we flew up there, and they had a beautiful service for him. And that was the shocker. I knew, my mom wasn't well, but for Ricky, and so it was. Everybody showed up, and it was just a beautiful another celebration of another fabulous life.
Yeah.
So but just so sad.
Yeah.
But I know they're all up there together.
Well,
and
that's what I was thinking. I mean, it's sad for us down here, but I'm sure his
Yeah.
dad is waiting for him up there. So
No,
that's
exactly.
the way you got to look at
So,
it, I guess. But
yeah, it is.
And of course, Frank Jr. I mean, that was sad too.
Oh my gosh!
Last winter, I guess that was. But, we lost him.
Yes, it
He
was.
was just
and
down
that
in Florida too. He was just doing a show.
He was in Florida.
Other side of the
He
state
had
from
just,
us. Yeah, he was going to do a show
Yeah.
here. In
Yes.
Sarasota.
And I think he had finished. Was he going for his sound check, or it was
I
after?
think so.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
It was
But
like,
I'm just glad that it happened. I mean, I'm thinking thank God it just doesn't happen on stage.
Yeah.
But this was. But gosh, it's all a shock and a blur.
I had a
So.
chance to talk with him about 5 or 6 years ago when he did a show down here. About a half an hour. Great stories he told, and it was fun at least to have a chance to chat with him. But
Yes. Well, we were doing the show, I think, because I'm thinking it was in January, and I think January 11th we were doing a show for the Friars for Frank Sinatra.
right. I saw
A
that.
centennial at the Pierre Hotel in Florida. And Steve Tyrell was there, and Larry King, me, Wayne Newton. So we were doing the show for Sinatra, but after the show, Steve Tyrell and Frankie Pellegrino from Rayo's and John, we went out to dinner, and it was Frank Jr.'s birthday.
Oh.
So we gave him a call, and he answered the phone. So Steve and I were able to sing "Happy Birthday" to him. So we talked to him before we lost him. So it was
that's good.
that was a good memory for us.
And again, there's some clips on YouTube of you and him on your dad's show.
Yes.
Doing some duets. I think you and Lucy Arnez were doing actually not duet, a trio. Together.
Yes,
They
we
sang
did.
Together. Yeah, great.
Yes,
great
Frank and I did a duet on another show, and then on that we did. It was cute.
Yeah.
And Lucy. So yeah.
I always felt a little sorry for Frank Jr. because
I'm sorry I didn't hear.
I always felt a little sorry for him because he had the name to live up to, but he was an excellent singer in his own right. But you can never outshadow his, get out of his dad's shadow.
Yes, he was a great musician, and so that's tough. I think it's probably it's not as tough for me being Deana Martin.
Right. No. Yeah.
But for him, Frank Sinatra Jr. So Frank Sinatra. So, but he did a great job, and they're all going to be missed. But they left their music.
Like we said before, I'm not no rush to get there, but when we get up to heaven, it's going to be a lot of fun with all the music and entertainment, right?
It's going to be one ring-a-ding time.
I'm not no rush to go, but
no
but when
rush
we
to
get
go.
there,
No,
it's going to be fun.
That's exactly right.
In the
And I can't wait
meantime-
to see you
Yep. I
in
was going to say, in the
December.
meantime, get Swing Street, the CD, DeanaMartin.com. And I just want to mention quick before we wrap up, Las Vegas in December. You can see Deana doing her Christmas show. If you haven't seen a Christmas show, Deana's the one to see. It's going to be December, I believe, let me get the calendar here, 16th and 17th, right? If I have the dates right. Or 17th, 16th, 17th. It's a Friday and Saturday night. I will be out there.
Okay, well, we will have a nice glass of wine. We'll have a toast.
Yeah.
And
it's
we'll
a nice
just have
theater there, the Smith Center,
a
too.
good time. Yeah, at the Smith.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing you.
You as well. And Deana, I know we always keep you longer than we say, but we keep chatting. It's just fun to talk to you. But
I know.
appreciate
it's fine
taking the
with me.
time.
It's my pleasure. So we're gonna go have some dinner now, and I'm giving you a big hug and kiss, and keep playing that Swing Street.
Swing Street, the CD. Deana Martin's been our guest. We'll take a short time out and be right back. Thanks for being with us.